They came up here because my grandfather had a trucking business in the city, and with the Percheron horses, which I'll tell you more about later. And of course, with the invention of the automobile, he knew that he would have to buy trucks to pull the merchandise instead of having the horses. And he had always loved horses, and he didn't want to give up his horses. And he also liked the country, and so he decided that he would buy a farm, and so he could bring his horses with him and live in the country. This was written in the spring of 2003 when my mother was 85 years old. This is Lottie, which was her nickname. During the first few years of my life, we took in summer boarders, but it was too much work for my mother with 4 young children, and she became sick. As young children, we never left the farm, but relatives and friends often came to visit on weekends. When I was 1, Uncle George Semke, a friend, built a bungalow next to the farmhouse on a 50 by 100 lot. Uncle George and Aunt Blanche came up almost every weekend in the summer for 20 years. In 1947, when Uncle George was unable to come up anymore, we bought the bungalow. And we would be my mother and father, Charlotte and Thomas Darby. After many additions and revisions, this is where we settled after we retired. It continues to be a place for our many family gatherings. Our one-room schoolhouse next to the farm was where we were educated from the 1st to the 8th grade. One teacher taught all 8 grades. One of the 7th or 8th grade boys started a wood fire every morning in the winter. There was no lights, no water in the school, and one of the children brought a pail of water to school from a nearby spring every morning. There were 2 outhouses, one for the boys and one for the girls. There were 16 desks, but there was usually only 10 or 12 students when my mother attended. Each student had to pass a Regents exam in history, geography, reading, spelling, and math to be eligible to attend high school. Many students dropped out of school at this point, either because they could not pass or there was no way to get to high school. The farm students would have to walk 6 or 8 miles twice a day to get to high school. Also, another reason why they dropped out was because the family needed them to work on the farm. When I was 13, only 6 students attended the one-room schoolhouse, so Pop decided he was also the trustee of the school, so he could make the decision that he would hire a local garage man to drive us to Rhinebeck School. That way the high school students could take the bus. Florence, Helen, and I, along with 3 other area children, entered the Rhinebeck school system. I was in the 8th grade and weighed 96 pounds, and the school nurse sent home a note to my parents saying I needed more nutrition. But Grandma wrote back and said that I had always been thin but healthy, and that was the end of that.